Largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck. You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Did you ever have one of those mornings? Snowman and the super producer with you. Kyle Senra is on the way. Man, I promised y'all I would tell you about what happened this morning. I'm coming back from getting breakfast. I get to a red light. I'm thinking, okay, everything's going to be fine. Car down.
It ain't. No. Oh, God.
But for the first time in my life, or the first time in a while, I didn't panic. I rolled the windows up and cussed like George Carlin for about 10 minutes. But
I do the same.
But I truly didn't panic. So 911 was my next call. They pinpointed me, and the North Vernon Police Department, God bless them, came flying in, and they assessed the situation and said, let's get you over to Casey's and see what we can do about getting you some gas so you can get home. So, in neutral, got to Casey's, and the good folks at Casey's, Tina, my good friend, who's the manager there, the morning manager there, you know, they got me some gas. I got home. And then there was a meeting I was supposed to be a part of. What the? And all the guys said was, handle it. We'll be ready. I handled it. They were ready. And here we are.
Flexibility, brother. It's what we do.
Flexibility is a weapon and a half, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
Well, we got a treat for you tomorrow, and it's this.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
That full-blown fibrillation will be your way tomorrow as we have our final episode of season 10, and we get you ready for season 11. And with me are the gentlemen that have been there with me and by my side through all of it. Did y'all ever think we'd get to season 11?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without question. If I had to put a boot in somebody's ass to get this far, I would have.
Exactly.
Wait, I did!
You did. Several times.
Several hundred times.
Several hundred times.
Pow.
Several hundred times. Okay. We said we would talk East and West divisions. Let's give everybody a little preview of how we're going to handle this.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor, I think you made a mistake with your camera.
Did I?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I just did stop cam, so I don't know what that does.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know what that's there.
here we go again.
We're professionals, damn it. We just don't act like it.
I'm gonna hit you for that. As true as you are, I'm gonna hit you.
Hey, new T-shirt coming.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always like this.
It'll be launched today.
Yes.
I will carve out the time and put our faces on it. That's going into season 11. That's our motto going into season 11.
We're professionals, damn it. We just don't act like it.
And why?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And why would you want to? I mean, we want to have the same result as professionals, but you don't be as tight as them. You don't want to be as tight as them.
But see, why do we get criticized? And I asked Diana, who had just interviewed me some time back.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "What makes your network different?" Simple. We don't talk politics.
No, because politics has no place in sports. I'm
We
sorry.
don't talk outside.
You're not wrong, Vic. You're not wrong.
But see, that's the problem.
Salute to Nicola for that.
Is that now mainstream media says politics isn't everything. Like, did you ever think that you would hear, presidential elections debates on First Take? Did you ever think that would ever happen?
It's Stephen A. Smith over there. What do we expect?
Do I want to?
Okay, I'll say this. What if it was like 10 years ago? What about 10 years ago?
No.
How about 20 years ago?
No.
That's my point.
It's just the way the world is now.
Yeah, but we don't need to do that because we stick with what we love. And let's be honest, none of us really love politics. We just tolerate them.
I don't tolerate politics.
My brother was the more political one.
Yeah.
You know what? I graduated from the school of George Carlin. And I learned about the political process. There are two ways I learned about the political process. Mm-hmm. One, I listened to George Carlin's comedy. Mm-hmm. And he did a baseball versus football.
I remember that one. That's my favorite one too.
I'm going to play that tomorrow. Secondly, I learned from my parents. Mm-hmm. While mom was yapping about the P word, my dad was teaching me to swing a baseball bat.
There you go.
Who do you think I listen to more?
There you go. I mean, your mom was preparing you for the world that we now live in, but your dad was preparing for the world that you love to be in. Let's be honest. And that happens.
Going on a shirt.
That happens.
That's going on a shirt. That's Victor's special.
But that's
your
what
mom
happens.
prepared you for the world you're going to be in. Your dad prepared you for the world you're going to love to be in.
Yeah,
that's going on. That's going on a shirt.
Yeah,
I'm saying it right now. That's going on a shirt. But the one
that's two ideas.
But the one that Shane came up with,
yeah, professionals. We just don't act like it.
We just don't act like it.
Like I said, why would you?
Exactly. Why would you?
No.
I'm doing some maintenance here.
Leave the
there we go. Got it. There we are. We are true pundits. We are true professionals. Yeah. Damn it.
We just don't act like it.
Just don't act like it.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a clip in next season.
Oh, way ahead of you. I'm going to clip the daylights out of that. And I already got an ad in my head.
This is going to be dangerous next season.
Especially now with me getting better at my video editing. Oh, dear Lord. Especially when one of us, either Shane, myself, or Victor, gets kicked after their team loses and we just spout out stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of that this season.
A lot of it.
I already know how I'm going to do the ad. I already know how I'm going to do it. Just
Oh,
remember
crap.
the episode. Just remember the episode where there were a lot of bleeps.
Oh dear.
Just remember that. That's all I have to say.
Oh God, I know what you're talking about too.
You know the one I'm talking about. You know the episode I'm talking about.
Yep.
I will not mention his name. I will not mention the network's name. I will not mention the group's name.
Good.
Because it's Thursday.
Because it is Thursday.
It is Thursday.
And we don't need to find a DeLorean to go back in time.
I don't want a DeLorean.
We don't need to talk about him. I would have loved to have driven a DeLorean.
Yeah, I would love to have driven a DeLorean were it not for two things. My legs.
Here's the crazy thing, right?
True.
So you know how something funny. You know how in on Facebook people could tag you into things?
Yes.
Yep.
There's a picture. There's a picture on Facebook that has tagged me in it of some dude in DeLorean. I'm like, that is not me. But I want it to be.
What's absolutely crazy is Back to the Future predicted the Cubs World Series.
Yes, they did.
A year off, but they did.
A year off.
Yeah, a year off, but they did.
A year off, but they
did do the thing.
And there is no Miami Gators.
No.
Gators, thank God.
No, they reside a little further north.
Right.
Oh Lord.
No, but I was looking like that dude's in DeLorean. That's not me. But I want it to be because I want to ride the DeLorean.
Okay, then let's do this. We don't talk politics on the show, but we do talk food and cars.
Mm-hmm.
What's a car that you had? What's a dream car that you wish you had? And given the fact that we're all over 6 feet tall, you can't fit in the thing.
Kit.
Knight Rider.
I would love to ride the Kit car. Either the Kit car or the 1989 Batmobile.
You know,
the OG.
Yes.
The OG movie. Yes.
I would love to have them, but I can't do it.
Too big.
I'm
legs.
Too
big. Yep, I'm too big.
My legs.
You know, it's funny.
I gotta share this before we bring Kyle on. Let me share this with y'all. When Jody and I were in North Carolina, and we were buying a car, we walked into the showroom, and there was this little bitty convertible on the showroom floor. I looked at Jody and she looked at me, and I'm already laughing because I know what she's going to say to me. And she looked at me and says, "I dare you to get in it." I said, "Are you kidding me?" And she's cracking up.
You're like, no.
She says, "Why won't you at least try to get in it?" For the simple fact, my whole ass won't get in that thing, let alone me. And the sales guy comes up to me and he just puts his arm around me and says, "I know how you feel. I'm 6'8" and I can't get in that thing." And Jody, without missing a beat, goes, "If Brian tries to get in that, he will be peeking out from where the hood should be."
Right.
From where the convertible hood should be.
Right.
Yeah, you'd be looking right out the top of the windshield.
Praying things don't hit me.
Right.
6'4". I get it.
Smallest car I ever drove was my wife's old car, a Mitsubishi Mirage.
Oh boy.
We'll continue this later. Right now, we got to talk some place kickers and some fantasy football.
Let's go.
Me in a pink Mitsubishi Mirage. I'll let y'all's imagination run wild while we bring Kyle on right now.
It's a Barbie world.
Here's Kyle Sandro joining us right now. What's up, Kyle?
What a time to join! I got that conversation. You guys are awesome. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for having me on again.
Hey, thanks for coming on. We played a little dealer's choice, Kyle and I, during the week, and he threw two subjects at me. The first one was he wanted to talk about his biggest fantasy football rankings changes since the roster cut down. We'll start there. Biggest change is
Well, there's a few teams that changed because a player was leaving. I think of like it's not even cut downs. Like I think back to last week, Jahan Dotson getting traded and like what that did for Washington. And even this morning, just before we came on, I had to tweak that because they signed Noah Brown. So Washington's been an offense where like the players have been fluctuating. I'll throw that one out at the end because I've got a name that I don't think anyone else has talked about that I think could be the wide receiver too there. So we'll save that one for the very end of the segment. But I'm looking at the Chargers. Cutting Donald Parham. It might not seem like a big deal to most, but I had basically the three tight ends splitting almost equal target share and touchdowns, especially touchdowns. I had all three with 3 touchdowns projected. Target share was a little more spread out, so that was less impact, but that was 3 touchdowns from Parham that I had to distribute to the rest of the team. And so Hayden Hurst was the biggest beneficiary, who I think is the starting tight end. So I was able to boost his touchdowns up by a couple. And then I gave an extra one to Ladd McConkey just because the rookies are so tough to project. I still won't have McConkey ranked the highest of Chargers wide receivers. I moved him up 4 spots. He's still a couple spots behind Josh Palmer. That's still the Chargers receiver I think people should draft. But I've also been the one taking DJ Chark super late because he's so cheap. Because I think both Palmer and McConkey might be overpriced because everyone's expecting them. But I admit I have raised McConkey a little bit from that. Hayden Hurst has gone up 6 spots actually in the tight end rankings. Right now he's tight end 19 for me. So that's probably the biggest jumper. The guy that wasn't even in the tight end 2 range to now suddenly being a top 20 guy. You're probably still not drafting him unless you're waiting very late and multiple teams are taking multiple tight ends. In those instances, like I think he's a perfect guy that he's probably going to be available in the last round. And if not, he could be someone to be aggressive on early in the season. Like even as early as if he's getting targets week 1 and he's still out there on the waiver wire and the tight end you drafted isn't, go drop them for Hayden Hurst. Like he'd be like that first kind of waiver priority. So I think the former first rounder, meshing with Herbert, I mean, he's had some good quarterbacks. He's had Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, and now Herbert. So it's tough to say it's the best quarterback he's ever had, but it's good, elite quality quarterback play. So better than what he had in Atlanta.
This is true.
Desmond Ridder,
we've talked about Atlanta a lot on this program throughout the summer.
Another team is Denver, actually.
Which actually?
Yeah, Atlanta. It's funny that Ridder got cut by the Cardinals, I think, too.
It is weird.
He's not that good, I think.
You brought up Atlanta. You brought up Atlanta. My question is, with New England shipping Judon down to Atlanta, what has that done for their defense?
I mean, certainly, I think it helps their defense. Pass rush seemed to be a thing that they were solely lacking, so he kind of fits an area of need for them. So I think they gave up a third for what is your
it was a 3rd round.
You can, especially if they can extend him long term, that'll be like pretty cheap to acquire someone of that caliber. So yeah, I think that was a solid, probably the best move Atlanta's made all off season because there's been a lot of questionable ones. That one I think is pretty smart, to be honest.
Yeah, did that actually end up helping their ranking out though? Is my question.
In the defensive rankings?
Yeah.
Let me see where I have them. Probably not overly. Like they're still in the like outside the top 20 for me. So maybe they've gone up a spot or 2, but probably not enough that you should draft them. And to be honest, I'm all about week 1 matchups with defense anyway. I'm very much, I want to just, I suppose like, I'm going to play it week to week with defenses essentially. They get Pittsburgh week 1. So that's actually a decent enough matchup where you might want to target Russell Wilson. So that could be a team where like, if you're again, waiting till the absolute very last round to draft your defense, which is what I usually do. I usually just, who of the good week 1 matchups of the teams available? You probably do worse than targeting Russell Wilson with Pittsburgh. So I think they're an option. I would say the Bengals are a team that they're playing the Patriots week 1. It looks like it's going to be Jacoby Brissett.
It will be.
That's my favorite late round defensive target because they're not a defense that's really being drafted highly. Like even in my rankings, I think I've got them at 16 right now. But that's a team that I might take because the rankings are for full season rankings, and I find that tough because it's the one position I really don't approach from a full season perspective. So like the full season rankings on defense to me are difficult. Yeah, like the Ravens are the number 1 defense, but they're playing the Chiefs week 1. Like I don't want to draft the Ravens and have to start them. I'll wait for someone to get frustrated with them, and if they want to drop them, I'll pick them up then. And if not, then I'm not going to worry about it. Like, for me, going after the top defenses is never really the best strategy.
Yeah.
I'd rather go after the best kickers, which we'll talk about, I guess, in the kicker strategy. I'm willing to usually take the kicker before the last round. Like that's the position where between the two, I'd rather reach on a kicker because I find with kickers it's so random. It's tough to go like outside of avoid bad weather games. What makes a good matchup for a kicker? An offense could be projected to score a ton of points, but then get stalled in the red zone, ton of field goals, and that's actually the matchup you want. In other instances, like it could be highest scoring offense scores a touchdown every time. The kicker gets 6 points for 6 point after attempts. That's it, right? So it's so tough that I tend to just if I have a kicker that is scoring within the top 10, top 12 of the league. I'll just ride with them all the way because those spike weeks could come as opposed to trying and really pick the matchups. Whereas defense, I'm very much week to week. Like I will take a defense week 1 and I'll drop them immediately if another better matchup comes up. And I'm just going to play like that through the course of the whole season. So if you're taking a defense, I think Falcons could make sense with the Steelers. But again, I think the Bengals, their defense is probably readily available that plays the Patriots week 1. Like, that's a great matchup. I want to target Jacoby Brissett.
As a New England fan, that hurt. As a Patriots fan, that hurt.
I'm sorry.
But see, where's the lie?
There isn't one. That's the problem.
That's what makes it hurt the worst. So there is.
Yes, exactly.
What's another big change that you saw, Kyle?
So actually, there's a lot of AFC West teams because we're going to talk about Denver and we're going to talk about the Raiders. Denver cutting Tim Patrick. He was projected to get enough target share and touchdowns to where it actually did impact things quite a bit. So a lot of Denver players went up. Josh Reynolds ended up being the biggest beneficiary because I think he now is pretty easily the wide receiver 2, unless the rookies step up. And rookies, I also include Marvin Mims in that, like the guys that are unproven. Reynolds is proven in the NFL. So I think behind Cortland Sutton, he could be the number 2 guy. He went up 14 spots in my wide receiver rankings. Trey Tucker ended up going up 15 spots. I think I was just too low in general. I didn't maybe react enough to the news of Michael Gallup retiring because that was from a while ago. But as I was kind of reviewing target share, I think it was Jalen Guyton getting cut that forced me. Okay, I've got to like revise the target share again, and it's not super significant. But then I realized when Gallup got cut, I didn't raise Tucker enough according to the 10% target share range. I think I had him at like the 7%, but I think he'll get into that double digit amount and be probably the 4th, 5th target on the team at the worst. So I raised Trey Tucker 15 spots in my rankings. We have a 49ers player, so this will make Snowman happy. With the news that Elijah Mitchell, not cut, but it was put on IR for the season. Jordan Mason looks like the main backup, so I had to raise him significantly.
And I love Mason.
Yep.
I love Mason, but I wouldn't be surprised like before the deadline if the Niners go out and grab a running back or before the season starts because under Kyle Shanahan, they've always had a stable of running backs, and this is the reason why they kept a stable of running backs in case of a very significant injury, in which Elijah Mitchell has suffered and is put on IR for that injury. You definitely need a backup for Christian McCaffrey. You definitely need a backup for him. Jordan Mason is dynamite, and I love what he can do in that 49er offense.
And then to just continue this conversation, Snowman, what do you think? Because right now I imagine the number 3 running back is probably the rookie Isaac Guerrero, who had an incredible combine performance, but the rest of his rookie profile isn't that great in terms of college production. So what do you think of Guerrero if something happens to Mason or McCaffrey and him having to maybe see action?
You got a secret weapon. And just because a college profile isn't complete and it's not a high profile player, I mean, Elijah Mitchell's out of Louisiana. Who was he until he got?
And it's funny because it was Trey Ragas the same year came out as him, and I was actually touting him more. And I think Ragas got enough work that Mitchell, his production profile wasn't so great. I think the same thing with Guerrero. If I'm not mistaken, he was with Jawar Jordan. I think they were splitting,
Yep.
Jordan ended up actually being also put on IR. He was my most rostered dynasty player.
Mhm.
Now having to flip that around, but it's a little surprising that they put Elijah Mitchell on IR, but then also got rid of Cody Schrader. I think they were maybe hoping because the undrafted free agent that they could sneak him onto the practice squad, but the Rams, they stole from a division rival, and now Cody Schrader is on the Rams.
Yep.
So,
I was looking forward to seeing what Cody Schrader can do, but they're all in on Ricky Pearsall, the 49ers are.
yeah,
But the backups to the backups to the backups, and they're going to have a few on their practice squad while they work out a contract with Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk.
yeah.
They're going to have quite a few backups that they're going to look at. People have asked me, why did they draft Ricky Pearsall when they already have Ayuk and they already have Deebo Samuel and Juwan Jennings? You're looking at the reason. You're looking at the reason, just in case the Niners do have to part with one of their mainstays. And the smartest thing they did, to me, was not only re-sign Deebo Samuel in 2020, but re-sign Juwan Jennings to a 2-year extension.
Almost Super Bowl MVP Juwan Jennings.
Yep, you need that third down possession receiver, and Juwan Jennings is that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people ask me to make a comparison to Juwan Jennings from any 49er receiver in the past. That's easy. John Taylor.
That's pretty big shoes to fill, but he's performed well when he's needed to, so that makes sense. But anyway, the whole point of this was to say I think Jordan Mason is going to get work this year. He's going to get touches. There'll be some touchdown opportunities. He'll vulture. The 49ers love to have him or Kyle Juszczyk vulture a few from McCaffrey. Will admittedly score enough that it won't upset fantasy managers too much. But yeah, Jordan Mason goes up 18 spots in my running back rankings. The second highest raise. There's a couple. There's I guess 3 players who weren't ranked that I've now have to rank. So they would technically be the highest raisers. But in terms of players who are already ranked, the biggest riser for me though is what looks to be the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver 2, pretty easily by that stretch.
Yeah,
Van Jefferson. Until Roman Wilson gets back healthy and is ready to produce, but with all the time he's missed, I think for the early stretch of the season, Van Jefferson's going to be like wide receiver 2 on the team. Which, to be fair, if you look at the weapons around, that might still put him 4th or 5th in targets. Obviously Pickens will be there, but a lot of targets for Freiermuth. Both running backs will also command targets, so it's not as if it's super huge. But he was outside the top 100 for me, so he goes up 29 spots in the wide receiver rankings. It's still not, late round pick maybe. He might not even be drafted, but just he's got to be someone we at least pay attention to and keep our eyes on, because he will be out on the field. Well, we're not going to have a choice. He's going to be on the field so much.
Right. Exactly. Kyle threw another subject at me, and that's the subject of kickers, a subject that, as long as I've been doing fantasy football, doesn't get talked about a lot. We're going to talk about them here. And what kind of words do you have about kickers? Because I know you wanted to discuss this.
Yeah, well, it's mostly because as I was going through this morning and updating the rankings, I realized that I hadn't updated my kicker rankings. So naturally, so you're right. It doesn't get talked about enough. Even I don't talk about it enough. Someone who does, though, her name is Linda on Twitter. Fairly big following. She's with Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life, specifically doing the kicker rankings there. So on Twitter at Lindellians. And based on her rankings, she has Jake Moody as the number 1 kicker. So I'm going to also follow Linda going forward on this and rank Jake Moody even ahead of Justin Tucker as the number 1 kicker in fantasy.
Now that's wild. That's wild to have Jake Moody in fantasy rankings as the number 1 kicker, but I can also see why. See, with the 49er offense, there is a fatal flaw. And I've spoken about this before. When they get in the red zone, sometimes they get so bogged down that they settle for field goals. Hence the ranking of Jake Moody. Would I love for that to change? Absolutely. But I understand why Jake Moody is ranked where he is, even ahead of Justin Tucker. Who else is in your top 5?
So basically that would be Tucker and Butker would be the next 2 and 3. Brandon Aubrey from the Dallas Cowboys, another team that the offense often operates, and kind of like the 49ers. Like last year were good years for the Cowboys and the 49ers in terms of scoring touchdowns in the red zone.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they unlock something that goes forward, or is it just natural touchdown regression where you get one of those seasons where everything works, and then it's really tough to have it work as efficiently the very next year? Teams adjust. So
It is.
maybe buy into that as well with both kickers in that sense. So Brandon Aubrey at number 4, and then Jake Elliott with the Eagles at number 5. But I think the other thing too that like helped Moody last year was how many extra points he kicked. So any of those offenses really can have this just explosive season where I remember the year Peyton Manning threw over 50 touchdowns. Matt Prater was the number 1 kicker. I think they had like 75 offensive touchdowns. So that was 75 points just on without even kicking a field goal that you got from Prater. Then any times they didn't score, if they were close enough for him to get field goal chances, I think he had less field goals than most people, but just the sheer number of point afters was so much higher than everyone else that it made up such a difference that even on the field goal disadvantage he had, no one else could catch him. So I guess all 5 of those teams have that chance where if they get that 60 to 70 touchdown season offensively, those kickers whoever the kicker is will probably be the number 1 kicker for that team, because just point afters. As much as we think, okay, 60-yard field goals are nice, but man, if you have an offense that is consistently scoring touchdowns, eventually, you might get a game where, oh man, 7 touchdowns, 7 points. That's not so great for a kicker, but if it accumulates over the course of a season, where you'll have such a high floor for your kicker that they'll never. Yep. Oh man, I had 0 points for my kicker. Oh, they missed a 1 field goal. I got negative points. You're not really going to get that necessarily with these guys because of the sheer number.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it reminds me of 1994 with the 49ers when they were the highest scoring team in the league, and they had a rookie kicker by the name of Doug Bryan. And he had the most points among kickers because Steve Young and the Niners were busy marching it into the end zone every chance they got. And especially kicked into high gear, and we've talked about this before, after they got drilled by Philadelphia at Candlestick Park 40-8. It woke him up. And then they just ran through the rest of the season.
You also got to think about how much pressure's taken off a kicker when it's more of a chip shot rather than you have to use the long boot to get points on the board.
But then there's still the legend of Justin Tucker. Okay, there's still the legend of Justin Tucker. Banged one off of the crossbar. And it hopped up and went through. I'm talking about the 66-yarder at Detroit with room to spare.
Yeah.
And when you saw the football come down slowly, you're realizing it hit the back of the net.
Yeah.
How's that?
And it could make sense why people do most of the time will rank him as the number 1 kicker. I don't think you can go wrong with either. But man,
no, you can't.
The advantage with Moody is that he's probably going to go a lot later in drafts than Tucker. So if you don't want to go, you want to let other people take kickers really early, Moody's probably going to be there in the last couple of rounds. So he might be a really smart kicker target as well. And then I had 3 players that were not on my rankings at all that jumped into the rankings because of recent events. So we start with the Colts. I was kind of slating Jelani Woods to be the number 1 tight end. The athletic profile, what he showed as a rookie a couple of years ago was enough that I was going to bank on that more than anything. Especially with touchdowns, not a huge target share because I think they were all going to split. And it'll probably still be the case here. But with him not scoring those touchdowns, who does that go to? Well, I ranked until kicker 45, and both Kylan Granson and Mo Alley Cox fell outside that range. I think Granson had just missed the top 45, so he was close to being in the rankings, but I believe Mo Alley Cox was outside the top 50. Yeah. And now they've both jumped. Granson, because I think he's listed as the Colts starting tight end. I expect he's going to get the biggest target share for any Colts tight end. He was in this. I think before Woods got cut, I had him in the 7%, 7.3. Now he's close to 10%. So enough to think that he'll at least get targets most of the time and be a safer floor. But historically, Mo Alley Cox has been the better touchdown producer. So he's the one I think that'll benefit from what would have been Jelani Woods' touchdowns. Yeah. So he's gone up drastically in the rankings. I still have Granson ranked the highest at tight end 33. Mo Alley Cox hits the top 40, though, at tight end 39. And then I guess the one last surprise I was going to share is who do I think will be the Commanders' wide receiver 2? heard a lot of people, maybe rightfully so, talk about the name McCaffrey. You know how good that is in San Francisco, the rookie Luke McCaffrey. He could certainly immediately make that leap and be that. They did just sign Noah Brown, so that's gotten some talk.
Yeah.
Diami Brown, who is I don't know if anyone watches the receiver documentary, or if you paid enough attention to the 2021 draft and can name all 17 receivers taken ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Well, the Commanders, this is their contribution, taking Diami Brown ahead of Amon-Ra. So they clearly have faith in him. They clearly believed in him. Is this the year it comes together? I'm saying it's none of those guys. I think it's a dude that just hangs around. I almost forgot he existed until I was looking at their depth chart after the Dotson trade and trying to figure out, okay, who's going to take the jump? And I see Jamison Crowder is still on this team. And this is a guy that has just earned probably more targets than he should have through the course of his career.
Yep.
It feels like it's funny because Zach Ertz is also on this team, and they're going to be the same thing. They're just going to probably be the top, like number 2 and number 3 on the team in targets, maybe 4 if Eckler contributes enough. It's not going to be for very many yards. It's going to be catch it and fall down. It'll be like almost infuriating because you have these like more athletic, talented players that you'd like to get the ball to, but these guys just know how to run routes and know how to get open. And for a rookie QB like Daniels, he might rely on that more than what we want him to. So I think if you're going to draft any Commanders receiver that's not Terry McLaurin, I think it's actually Jamison Crowder. Now, he's not super high in my rankings, but it also shows that none of them are super high in my rankings. I've got him at wide receiver 93, which means that like all the rest of them are even lower than that. So I think Noah Brown is just a little bit below, and McCaffrey falls outside the top 100 now. But yeah, you probably don't need to draft any of these guys, to be fair. But I guess I'm just making the call that if there's I guess more is saying don't invest in any of the other guys, because what's going to happen is Crowder and Ertz are going to eat too many targets for what we want. And like though it just feels like none of these guys are really going to be worth drafting. You want Jaden Daniels, obviously. Love Terry McLaurin still.
Yep.
He's inside my top 30 in terms of wide receivers. 25 right now exactly. And I like both running backs, Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler.
Yep.
Outside of those 4 players, though, I don't really want to roster too many Commanders players. So all this time just to talk about Jamison Crowder, to say don't draft him. But again, it's more of a warning that it feels like there's not going to be a true solid wide receiver 2 that we're really going to want on the Commanders.
Yeah.
So it's almost actually like the Steelers with Van Jefferson. Is that the guy you really want? Now invest in the couple running backs, invest in the tight end. Probably would rather invest in Zach Ertz than I would in any of the Commanders wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
Whoever ends up being.
Yeah. Well, that's our fantasy chat for this week. Kyle Senra joins us, and he'll join us every week to let you know the ups, the downs, the ins and outs of fantasy football. I love having you on, man. The season is right there. We're ready to get started with our fantasy football segment and really kick it into high gear. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Snowman. Thanks, guys. And I got to say, next week I'll be on. We'll be previewing week 1. Like it'll be the day that the season kicks off. So yeah, as close as can be now.
We sure will. Thanks, man.
Bye, guys.
Oh boy, week 1 is
Yep.
Week 1 is next week.
Oh boy,
It's starting all over again.
And again, and again, and again. And Binks is
I heard that.
Right?
That's Binks. Binks is giving me a message, so I better give y'all one. We'll be back.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Looking for the best way to experience live events? Well, SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you sign up and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
14 after the hour, and now it's time to talk East and West divisions.
All right. And where do we start?
NFC.
NFC West?
NFC East.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was coming because my turn will be later.
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
I'll put it in the form of a question.
Okay.
Is there anybody that can beat Philadelphia in this division? I say
no.
Yes.
No.
I say yes.
Explain it.
2 words. Washington Redskins.
No. No,
I don't know.
I'll get to your Cowboys next.
It's not about that.
I
the
know.
fact that they got rid of Jahan Dotson really put a damper on that, because that could have been a really great weapon for their new quarterback.
And who says they're not going to find a diamond in the rough?
That's very rare.
I just got this gut feeling.
I know.
We'll see how the season plays out.
I like what Washington has done. It's just I think they're going to go through growing pains this year.
Well, if I got to pick my official, and we're gonna redo this again next week with all the divisions.
Mm-hmm.
It would go Philadelphia, Dallas, Washington, New York.
Mm-hmm.
I'd swap Washington and Dallas.
I was gonna say, who say you don't swap those two together? You have
True.
Washington go second, Dallas go third.
Well, what if that were to happen though? What if Philadelphia gets the division and Washington gets the wild card?
That's going to be very interesting for the East.
It is.
I do believe Washington is a wild card team. I do believe that.
I do too.
Yeah, but how far can their quarterback take them is the question.
You dare ask that question?
They can only go.
I just did.
They can only go one way, and that's up.
This is one of the times I get to pick on Shane out of division. Y'all got to worry about Jacoby Brissett.
Unfortunately, that's true too. That's true too.
And the Cowboys have to worry about Dak Prescott.
I do. I always have to worry
because
about that.
Dak Prescott is not going to carry them far.
I always have to worry about Dak Prescott. He's all we got right now. Because I am not in Trey Lance.
And the fact of the matter is, Jacoby's only going to be around for a cup of coffee because we all know Drake May is going to be starting by Halloween.
Trick or treat.
Drake may start by week 3.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm calling that right now. I have Drake May starting by week 3. Now
that wouldn't surprise me.
Now, staying with the NFC, let's go to the NFC West. And I have a simple statement about the West. It rolls through the Bay.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're not wrong. Move on.
It rolls through.
All roads lead to Santa Clara.
All roads lead.
All roads go up the 401 to San Fran.
There's just to fill time and just to make Rams fans feel good. I do have them as a wild card. Puka Nacua is all of that. Tutu Atwell is all of that. I love you, Matthew Stafford, but they're 36 years old.
I will say that the Rams are still the Rams. They still have they still were Super Bowl champions. They can still got some left in the tank.
Oh, they got a lot left.
Yeah, but they got a lot, but it ain't gonna be this year.
They're just not beating San Francisco.
Well, no one's beating San Francisco.
Who the hell is
Kansas City?
For the next 3 years, no one in the NFC West is gonna even touch San Fran. I mean, Seattle might get lucky, but I doubt it.
Let me bring up a very, very good show, Pain and Game Pick'ems with our boy A Pizzle and Company.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know they actually picked Arizona to win at least 7 games this year?
You mean Call of Duty is going to quit playing Call of Duty?
I'd have to see the rest. I'd have to see that schedule. I have
to see it to believe it.
I have to see that schedule to believe that.
Let's do that.
I'd have to see Arizona's schedule.
Let's do that right now
to see if that's possible.
Because I do not see 7 wins.
No,
I don't even.
I do not see 7 wins for the Arizona Cardinals. And while we're talking about Cardinals, let's just get their season up here right now. Because every pundit that I've spoken to says that the Cardinals are improving. I just have one question.
What are they watching?
Where
are they watching? I'm a little confused.
Where are they? Okay.
So week 1.
First of all, they go to Buffalo.
Which they're going to get.
And
they're getting wrecked.
Yeah, they're getting spanked there.
They're getting run over. Second game, they host the Rams.
And that's a train wreck.
Toss-up game, but I give it to the Rams.
The Rams are going to hit the Cardinals with 400.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's week 3.
They're getting smoked by the Lions.
The Detroit Lions.
That's a beating and a half.
Yeah.
Week 4, they see the Washington Redskins.
That's 2 beatings.
Mm-hmm. 3, if you look at October 6th.
No, that's 4 beatings. The Lions get a beating and a half.
Because October 6th
is 2 beatings in one game. And then San Fran, that's 4 beatings in one game.
He said 2 beatings in one game.
That's 4 beatings in one game.
Explain the 4 beatings in one game, if you would, kind sir.
I mean, look. Call of Duty is going to get destroyed by Bosa. Then that poor defense of the Arizona Cardinals, which has shown some signs of improvement, is going to have to contend with the Hydra of Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Animal Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and then all headed by the head of the snake, Brock Purdy.
Sounds like the bloodline.
I take it back. 6 beatings. Yeah, the head of the table.
6 beatings.
6 beatings.
They're going to get bloodlined. I'm going to tell you that right now.
It's 6 and the 49ers signed Leonard Floyd in the offseason.
So 7.
So 7. Then I
see one toss-up out of the past 5 games that we just talked about. I see one toss-up.
And that toss-up is Washington?
No, the Rams.
The Rams.
Yeah.
You know what? They could sneak out and beat the Rams, but I don't think so.
I don't think so. I said it's a toss-up, but
then they got to go to Lambeau Field.
That's another beat.
They got to go to Lambeau Field and face a true quarterback in Jordan Love.
That's another beating.
And then they face Justin Herbert and the San Diego Chargers.
Now, that's a game I think they can win because I still think that San Diego is trying to get the stench from Brandon Staley off of them. And that's going to take a while.
I agree.
That's going to take a while.
Yeah.
6 days, and that's on Monday Night Football. 6 days after that, they face, oh boy, Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, and the Dolphins.
From a man Pizzle, I think they will definitely lose to the Dolphins.
Listen, Miami's going to hang 50 on them.
Mm-hmm. Easily
50 on them.
And I found their second win. I found the second win.
Then you got November 3rd against the Chicago Bears.
This is the Cardinals' second win.
Yeah.
This is the Cardinals' second win.
Victor?
Yes.
You're not going to like me for this.
What?
You're not going to like this one.
Why?
Scoreless tie.
No.
We all know you want anarchy, damn it. Let's just be real here.
I am.
You really think it's going to go scoreless?
No.
You got Call of Booty on one side and Caleb Williams on the other.
But see, then that brings about a very interesting proposition.
What's that?
What if this becomes Caleb Williams' breakout game?
I got a new button in here.
We're about to find out the new button, ladies and gentlemen.
What in the all types of blue hell?
That.
I'm just saying that could be Caleb Williams' breakout game because you have a defense. That,
what in the all types of blue hell
are you talking about?
Let me explain.
Okay.
You have Caleb Williams, who is going to be unproven, but has some potential. The defensive line of the Cardinals, I am not scared of, and I think even the offensive line of the Bears can handle them. I could be wrong, but I think even Xbox.
You hear that sound?
That was Xbox.
That sound should tell you everything you need to know about this explanation. Disconnect from server.
And as far as the secondary goes, it's secondary. It's secondary, right?
It's the secondary.
This could give Rome This could give Rome a good game, and it could possibly even help out that struggling number one receiver, DJ Moore. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if Caleb Williams has a decent game against the Cardinals.
I love you, Victor, but
what in the all types of blue hell
have you been drinking today?
Hawaiian Punch.
Did you spike it?
Nope.
Wait, you're working. Okay, good call.
Then
7 days after that,
the Jets.
Yes, that's their second win.
Wait, so you're saying the Bears will beat the Cardinals?
I'm saying that's a tie.
No. It is not going to be a tie. It is not going to be a tie.
It's going to be a tie.
No, it is not. Stop.
Yes, it is.
Stop it. Just stop.
No. I'm saying
not going to be no tie.
With a semi-straight face. And
the semi-straight face.
And I'm about to laugh. And I say that as I'm about to laugh.
Exactly.
Go on. Then they go to Seattle.
That could be their fourth win.
It could be.
Could be.
And the one after that could be Minnesota.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Here's the sandwich.
Because Minnesota has no quarterback.
Well, here's the sandwich. You have the Cardinals. And on November 24th, you have the Cardinals going to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have them going to Minnesota. You have them come back to the desert to face Seattle again.
Yes.
So you could possibly see after the Jets beat the crap out of them, you see 3, 4, 5 be in the victory. 3, 4, 5 victories for the Cardinals because I think they're going to beat the brakes off of the Seahawks twice.
And then
Then they're going to get beat by the Vikings. They're going to beat the Vikings too.
Then you got December 15th.
Oh boy.
When
Drake May is going to have an interesting game.
Drake may terrorize them.
I think so too.
I think
Drake
may terrorize them.
Oh, I found their 6th win.
And Shane's gonna pop me in the mouth when I say that game will end in a tie.
Yep. See.
What?
Quit thinking anarchy reigns supreme. It doesn't.
I know it doesn't, but damn it, it's good to think about it.
It's not 1998 ECW. There's no such thing as anarchy rules.
I don't have a steel chair over here.
No, and I love this chair too much to throw it.
But I did find their 6th win.
Carolina.
Everyone's going to beat the hell out of Carolina. Let's be real.
And that's at Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stupid part. It's at Carolina.
And
then the last 2 games of the year, they're going to get pummeled.
They're going to, this was the worst ending.
Because they go to Los Angeles to face the Rams as they clinch their playoff spot. And then
this is the towel line here. This is the towel line. You snap with towels all the time. You take the Rams in LA, and then to further embarrass yourself, that Hydra goes to the desert to beat you in your own house.
Yep.
Yeah.
We pretty much agree that Frisco takes the division and the Rams are the wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be separated by 1 game. So that's just how good I think the Rams will be this year.
So I will say that maybe they could be right about the Cards possibly getting at least 6 of those because of just the schedule as it plays out.
They did the Cardinals a favor, no question about it. They did the Cardinals a favor.
But I'm just like,
So to the AFC West, and it rolls through Kansas City. We don't even have to bring up any schedules. We don't have to talk about Jim Harbaugh's going to stink up the joint. I don't trust Bo Nix. Well, I trust Bo Nix. I just don't trust Sean Payton. But then again, I could be wrong.
The AFC East.
Yeah.
Here's my ass whooping.
Then there's the AFC East.
Oh, boy.
Does it roll through Buffalo for a 5th straight year?
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a possibility, yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I'm not going to.
Even with all that Buffalo lost, including Stephon Diggs, Miami is not going to Rich Stadium and beating them in Buffalo.
Right.
It's just we got another disconnection from the server because A Pizzle just signed in. That's where you heard that beep from.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding as I say that. But it's going to come down to the second matchup between the Bills and the Dolphins to decide.
Yes. Yeah, I'll go with that.
It'll come down to the second matchup of the Bills and the Dolphins to decide the East.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just don't see Miami going to Rich Stadium and beating them.
I don't.
No, they won't. Miami's really never done well in cold weather anyway. So, I mean, let's just base it off of that alone. Kansas City's proof.
You just took the thought out of my head. Kansas City's the proof of that.
I mean, let's think about this for a second here. The AFC East, Buffalo's going to have, 11, 12 wins. Miami will have 10. Everyone else is just going to be looking through their windshield, wondering where the exit ramp is to get some brisket.
Right.
Yep. I say the Bills win 12 and the Dolphins win 10 or 11.
Yeah.
10 or 11. It'll be either a 2-game difference or a 1-game difference in that.
And what's crazy is whoever wins the division is going to be the only representative because the AFC North's going to give us a couple anyway.
Oh, God, the AFC North. We'll come back to that later.
Because I mean, let's think about it. Everyone else is going to have the AFC East will probably be the worst division. I'm saying that, and we'll have 12 wins come out of it as a champion.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's how strong the AFC is this year.
Yeah, AFC is definitely showing.
The Bills have Miami on Thursday Night Football on September 12th. They have the second game against Miami on November 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
7 days later, I get to see Tua live. Why? Because they're coming here to face the Indianapolis Colts.
Uh-oh.
Which caused me to say 500 cuss words in my head.
The other 500 comes from Dr. K.
And I'm being nice when I say 500.
And the other 500 comes from Dr. K.
The other 500 indeed comes from Dr. K.
Hey, let's not forget.
Wait a minute. And 500 more will come from Cheyenne. Another 500 will come from Sonia. And you know where the other 500 are coming from.
Dakota.
Yep. And none of my children are sports fans. But since they know me and Jody, guess what?
Guess what happens?
There's the proxy.
And let's not forget, we also got Buffalo December 1st, and that huge day for us.
Let's tell everybody about December 1st.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because we've been tossing that idea.
That's after we've been tossing the idea all summer. We looked at the schedule when it came out, and we were playing with the idea of doing not one, not two, but 3 games in one day. And we were all wondering, in fact, we had this discussion on a couple of pre-shows because we hadn't come to a solid decision yet of how we're going to handle this. Here's how we're going to handle it. December 1st, and I'm going to put a couple of, where are my coins? I better get the swear jar ready right now.
Yeah, you better.
Because that is that's a rule. That is no longer an option. That is a rule. And I didn't establish that rule. Dr. K did. And December 1st, Dolomite.
Exactly.
That's about how December 1st is. But to continue, we were wondering what can we do on December 1st because we saw 3 juicy matchups that we could cover. 3
gems.
We saw 3 gems.
You got the early game, which
the early game, which is Shane's Patriots taking on Dr. K's Colts.
Yep.
Which makes Shane say,
"You golden blank, staggered black, scouring a blinking black punk, are you trying to do? Of all that low dirty."
And I got what December 1st is going to be a royal.
Yep.
Don't worry, I got my coins ready too. Like I said, I got them ready.
December 1st is going to be a royal bitch.
Yep.
Because our leadoff game, we're going to do 3 games that day, and it's going to be a fundraising day. The first game will be the New England Patriots taking on the Indianapolis Colts, which means the only talking I'm doing that week besides to my family will be to Matt Taylor.
Yes.
That's the only time I'm going to be on that week because it's Thanksgiving. With the week after Thanksgiving, we're taking that week off. We're taking Thanksgiving week off. We're taking the week after off to prepare for this. The second game is Cool McCain's Philadelphia Eagles taking on Dr. Charles Faulkner's Baltimore Ravens.
That's what I think really made this juicy for us.
Yes.
It did. Think about it. The Eagles and the Ravens. And that's the 4:30 game.
And that's going to be a lot of on the ground running. That should be a very physical Victor, the ground.
Victor, what'd you say? That's a game that'll complete in an hour because both teams love running the football?
Yep.
Derrick Henry goes for 250. Calling it now.
Derrick Henry's about to make mincemeat out of those linebackers.
Derrick Henry's running for 250. Saquon, if he's healthy, could get $175.
Yeah,
easily.
It's going to be a testament of how well that defensive line of both teams are.
Mm-hmm. That's the second game. The third and final game. The nightcap.
The NBC.
Where I would usually be asleep.
Right.
I would usually be in my wife's arms and her in mine asleep. But no! The schedule makers decided to
mess with you.
Here's the button. The schedule makers decided to with me and make the third and final game the San Francisco 49ers going to Rich Stadium to face Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Let me say that again. The third and final game, the San Francisco 49ers at the Buffalo Bills. Chris,
what in the all types of blue hell
are y'all trying to do to us?
I have no idea.
And let's think about this. All three games have the potential to be cold weather games.
That's true, too.
Because you got to think about it being in Foxborough, you got to think about it being in Baltimore, and you got to think about Orchard Park.
Orchard Park.
Yep.
Off the water, and that lake effect snow can be nasty in December.
Yes, it
when
can.
I lived in lake effect snow, it ain't pretty.
So needless to say, weather could wreak havoc on the first.
Weather and
winds. I would not be surprised.
Weather and wind.
I wouldn't be either.
Weather, wind, Jacoby Brissett. I'm sorry.
Rude.
That's just wrong, damn it.
But am I though?
No.
I was gonna say, but am I?
No. No.
I mean, we played y'all in Germany.
Germany.
Yeah.
In a dome. I know. Germany? Yipe!
Yeah.
I know I should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque.
Anybody who recognizes those voice inflections know the exact cartoon where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking up the Colts schedule right now.
Hmm.
Wait a minute. Where is it?
I'm about to look for it too.
Oh, excuse me.
Indianapolis Colts.
The Indianapolis Colts. Okay. Okay, I have it in front of me. We host Houston, go to Green Bay, beat up the Bears, beat up Russell Wilson and the Steelers.
Yep.
Smack around Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars.
Yeah.
The Titans are going to get run over.
Yes, they are.
A shootout with the Dolphins. A shootout with the Texans.
Yep.
Beat up Minnesota.
Yep.
Beat up the Bills to piss them off.
Yeah.
Beat up the Jets to piss them off.
Yes.
And it is in Foxborough. I thought it was in Indy. Nope, it's in Foxborough at Gillette.
Nope.
December 1st, we get to go to Foxborough and beat the piss out of the Patriots.
You also have to contend with the Lions before that.
Man, look.
Man, you just wrong for that.
That's a 60-point game. Ooh. Whoever has the ball last in that game will win.
Yeah.
Colts and the Lions.
You get to beat the Titans up again and the Broncos.
In Denver. We get to go to Denver and beat their ass. Then we get to see. Then we get to see we get to see the Titans again. Then we go to the Giants, and then we close with the Jaguars. And as strange as this will sound, that may decide the South Division.
Yeah, that could.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That may decide the South Division.
Well, we know Jacksonville won't be in it. Tony Khan's too busy screwing around with everything else.
Yeah,
but
sure.
then 2 years ago happened.
True.
Then two years ago happened. So December 1st is going to be a royal pain in the ass.
Yep.
Because we got 3 games. The West, we agree, will go through Frisco. The NFC East, we're all in agreement. Although my gut tells me we're all in agreement. It'll go through Philadelphia.
We'll go through Philly.
It'll go through the Eagles. The AFC East will go through Buffalo.
Yep.
The AFC West will go through Kansas City.
Yeah.
Easily. No one's touching KC.
KC will be the only double-digit win team in that division.
With room to spare.
Dude, they're gonna have that division locked up by week 13.
Then the Niners will clinch by week 14.
Yeah,
probably.
That's how crazy the schedule looks.
I'll say probably by week 14 they should be wrapping things up.
In the last 2 years, we wrap things up by week 15.
Sure.
So to have things ready by week 14, that'll mean we're coming off a victory with the Bills. Matter of fact, let's do this right now. Now we did we did this before earlier in the summer, folks. We did this before earlier in the summer, but we put some ridiculous scores to it.
Oh no!
When I say ridiculous,
no. Those were Madden numbers.
Yes, they were. Which one? Which schedule are we doing? What schedule are we doing before we?
49ers.
49ers. Okay.
49ers. Okay. First of all, we get to beat up the Jets.
Yes.
They hang 45 on the Jets.
That's Monday night too. Someone did not like the Jets. So did not.
They hang 45 on New York.
Listen, the schedule makers really did not like the Jets.
No, I feel bad for Mr. McCarthy.
They really did not. They really did not like the Jets.
I feel bad
because
for
they
Ryan
got them
McCarthy.
on Monday night facing the number 1 defense in the league.
Yes.
Okay, on Monday night, Mike Greenberg was so destroyed and so mad that on Get Up he said, "Do not send Aaron on the trip."
It's gonna be so.
You
bad
let
for the
Tyrod
Jets.
Taylor be the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's gonna be Tyrod Taylor, or they gonna get so desperate they're gonna get Zach Wilson back. That's as bad as it's gonna be.
Oh, geez.
Now they'll make a phone call and get Tom Tupa.
Oh God, I haven't heard that name in years. Tom Tupa was a Jets quarterback, and he was also their punter.
What's funny is it's like the 30-odd year celebration of Tupa screwing New England up.
So they open with the Jets. They go to Minnesota, beat up Sam Darnold. They go to the Rams and beat them 30-27.
Okay.
Then New England comes to us.
Oh boy. I'm sorry.
Look at Shane.
San Francisco hangs a 50 burger on us easily. Let's be real.
Then we get Arizona, hang a 50 burger on them.
Yep.
And then we go to Seattle and hang a 40 burger on them. Then we lose our only game of the season when we go to Kansas City. Because that's going to be... You know, I told Droid this, and Droid, I hope you're doing well because we know you've had problems with a headache, and that's why you couldn't join us today. The last team in that game who holds the ball will win it.
Overtime
yet again. And I think this time
it'll be 197.
Honestly, it might all share honestly, it'll go overtime, but I think this time San Fran takes it.
I think so.
I think San Fran takes this one and beats the Chiefs.
And then there's week 8.
You know, if we're smart, we'll just go ahead and put a letter of forfeiture on the door.
Jerry World locked up. Letter on the door. We quit.
We ain't coming out.
We quit.
Y'all can have it.
Y'all came here for nothing. We quit.
Yeah, you just wasted a ticket.
Man, if Dallas was smart, they'd have it up on X saying, "We ain't playing this week. We'll see you next week."
We'll see y'all next week. We're taking an extra bye. We're taking an extra bye week. We're hoping to double bye.
Double bye.
Yeah.
And
Don't bother showing up. We got a note on the door. We ain't here.
Hold on. And why in the world is it once again a primetime game? Did y'all not learn y'all lesson last year?
Because the NFL schedule makers were cruel?
Yes, they were. This is a troll job. I've been saying that for a minute.
Troll, you just got your butt kicked by San Francisco.
Okay. I've got to do this. I got to do this.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I have to now.
No, you don't.
Why don't I?
Because you already know the answer to it. Because I know what you're going to ask.
I wasn't going to ask anything.
Sure you weren't.
I wasn't.
We put on the door. You just wasted a ticket. We ain't coming out. I quit.
Door's locked. Go home.
I quit.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
What'd you say? That's a troll game?
That is a troll game.
Why is that a troll game? As if I didn't know.
That is a massive troll game.
So you're telling me, Victor, and it's fairly obvious.
Hold on. What's up? I just saw something across my timeline.
And it said
Steph Curry just got an extension.
Oh, I know that.
For $62 million.
And he's finishing his career with the Warriors.
That just, I'm like, $62 million, man.
He just got an extent 1 year.
1 year.
Listen, I'll tell you, to stay with Golden State through 2027 when he hangs him up. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you why they did that deal. I'll tell you exactly why they did that deal. Give you 3 reasons. 1, Klay Thompson is gone.
Right.
2, they're keeping parts of the core together. And 3, where is it?
But think about this.
Victor?
Yes?
Here's the 3rd reason. And I'm going to let you say it.
Okay.
Because...
Yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It is you now. It will forever be you. Forever and ever. Let the church say,
Amen.
But the thing
now
is...
Now get out of my church, you thirsty bitches.
The thing is this. He will now be the first NBA...
Hang on. Now get out of my church, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
This man's now set to be the first NBA player to hit the $60 million mark in a single season. I'm gonna say it like this: he's earned it.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, he earned it. Now it's up to the organization to get him help, because you just said it right. No, man, Klay's gone. Klay's about to be up, so they're gonna need someone else to help become Splash Brother.
They got a fellow there named Brandon Pajemski, who is pretty damn good for them.
Now,
damn good.
Back to the San Francisco 49ers. Basically, wasting a trip. It's wasting a ticket.
What? Well, they're not wasting a ticket.
They sure are wasting a ticket.
Y'all are.
No, we at home.
Wrong.
Wait, is it Santa Clara?
It's in Santa Clara.
Oh, then we ain't showing up.
It's at Levi Stadium.
We'll say it via email. We ain't coming.
Plane's out of gas. We ain't going.
Right, plane's out of gas. Plane crashed. We all ghost now. We ain't coming.
Wait, but
We got lost.
We got lost, so we won't lose.
We heard we're going to Levi's, and I thought we were going to this actual store, not going out west.
Right?
we ain't got nothing to do with the Bay. We don't want nothing to do with the Bay. We out.
We good.
We don't. They don't want that smoke.
We'll go somewhere else. We'll be good.
We'll go to Carolina. We'll see you there.
We'll go to Chicago. We'll put the Bears to 49 gear and beat them.
He said, replace the.
Okay, I'm gonna be serious.
Replace the 49ers with the Panthers as their opponent for Week 8.
I'll be serious. I'll be serious. It's going to suck either way because it's the 49ers.
And you know what the game theme is for that?
That we keep losing?
No.
What's the theme?
Something Victor hates playfully because of George Kittle.
Oh, no.
It's National Tight Ends Day.
Oh. I don't hate that. That. I love tight ends, so.
It's National Tight Ends Day.
I like the tight end position.
Wait a minute. It's National Tight Ends Day on October 27th.
Right. I like the tight end position. You got Desmond Clark, Jeremy Shockey, now George Animal Kittle. I've always been a fan of the tight end position, not only as really great blockers, but also as great receivers.
Okay.
So I can't get mad at that.
That at Week 8. We get a bye at Week 9.
You get 2 buys. Because the Cowboys is a bye anyway.
National tight end day ain't gonna be so tight for Dallas when San Fran gets done.
Now, wait a minute.
Won't.
Wait a minute. You can't call that game a bye week.
Yes, I can. Sure, I can.
Why?
Because it's going to be a glorified scrimmage game. That's why.
Pretty much.
I think Shane said the week thing. I think Shane said the same thing about Week 4.
Like what kind of real competition are we going to really bring to y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Exactly. So it'll be just another bye.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's practice for the next real opponent.
And you got Dak Prescott as your quarterback.
There you go.
We probably got Jacoby Brissett coming in with us, so we ain't much better.
Or they could get smart and start Drake May.
Look who the owner is.
Right. Roger Kraft mac and cheese.
And look who the head coach is.
Never mind.
Mayo.
Hellman's Mayo.
Hellman's Mayo. Mayo.
Ain't even no damn Miracle Whip. It's Hellman's Mayo.
Where you at, Chris?
What in the all types of blue hell
have we gotten ourselves into?
Well, I've got myself into a little bit of caffeine, so yeah, I'm good today. Caffeine makes me normal.
You know what? And I can't argue with that. Then Week 10, we go to Tampa, beat them up.
Yep.
Week 11, we see Geno Smith beat his ass.
Yep.
Week 12, we go see Jordan Love and hang 30 on them.
Yep.
Then there's December 1st.
Woohoo!
Week 14.
Oh my God. What I said, this was like 215 to 2.
Caleb freaking Williams.
And I said this is like 215 to 2 was the score for this one.
250. He said 215 to 2.
Like the Bears defense gets a lucky break off of like some sort of batted ball in the end zone for a safety.
This is where we bring the CFL scoring in for this game, where they kick one out of the end zone, it's a point.
No, it's like they get some sort of like fluke safety to begin the game, and then after that, they just get steamrolled for the rest of the game.
Just like you had on your Madden sim.
Yep.
When you did this game.
Yep. Just like how I said it.
Victor simmed this game on Madden while I was driving home one night, and it ended what, 70-14.
Yep, 70-14.
Then there's week 15, where I get to see the playmaker and the Los Angeles Rams, and that's in our house. Week 16, we go to Miami, and that's a dual cast for me with Pizzle. Week 17, there's a rematch for the NFC Championship and a possible NFC Championship rematch preview.
This game, if you haven't done it yet, this game may set you up with the first round bye. This may set you up with the first round bye.
If we haven't clinched it yet, this game may mean a first round bye, and then we get to beat up Kyler Murray in Arizona.
This is when the secondary comes. This is where the substitutes come out to play. Substitutes come out today.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
And as long as we don't have to talk about the Cowboy schedule, the better off I'll be.
Well,
you had to open your mouth, Victor.
I'm already looking at it, so I'm willing to take this one.
Since you said that.
Since I said that.
And we are talking East Divisions today.
Yes, we are.
It's only right. Oops.
It's only right. As he starts the anarchy already.
I haven't started anarchy today.
Bull.
I was gonna say, like, I'm gonna be quiet because the only thing that's coming out of my mouth is a cuss word, and I don't have the button over here.
All right, that's fair. All right, here we go, folks. This is where we'll end today.
Okay.
This is the Cowboys schedule. Week 1.
Week 1.
Dear God in heaven.
They did set us up with a good start.
They go to Cleveland.
They did set us a good start, but it's only up to the Cowboys if they screw it up or not.
Tie.
And it's not a tie. We about to beat the brakes off of Deshaun Watson. We about to beat the brakes off of Deshaun Watson. We win in that game.
Look, Dallas will not win that game, nor will Cleveland.
Yes, we will.
It'll be tied at 17, and that's where both teams. Where's my button? I don't expect this to happen, but I'll present a wild scenario anyway. Matter of fact, this is what the NFL did to the Dallas Cowboys schedule.
Use a troll. Use a troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
They sure did troll.
That's what they did to the Cowboys schedule, and in a way, that's what they did to the Patriots schedule. Well, wait, the NFL trolled the Patriots anyway. Let me put it another way.
More
the
like
NFL
Roger
has been trolling the Patriots since Tom Brady threw that pick 6 in a playoff game against Tennessee.
More like Roger Kraft trolled the Patriots.
Oh, he got an assist from the NFL. Trust me. Week 2 is host New Orleans. They'll beat them. They'll get the brakes beat off of them against Baltimore.
Yeah, that's a beating. That is a horrendous beating. I am not looking forward to that.
Then you see the Giants, and you'll beat them. I don't know why I'm saying that because I just threw up in my mouth. Then this one, October 6th, Pittsburgh.
We're gonna beat the brakes off Justin Fields.
Because I expect Justin Fields to start by that time.
Justin Fields will start by this time.
I'm saying Justin Fields will start by that time.
We'll beat the brakes off Justin Fields.
And
then we get destroyed by the Lions.
Then you get a bye.
We get a bye. And then
this happens.
Then we go to Santa Clara to get beat up again.
What a 3-week
job.
stretch.
Troll job.
What a 3-week stretch.
That's a troll job.
You get beat up by the Lions at home. Then you get a week to lick your wounds.
Yep.
And then you got to go out to Santa Clara.
Then we have to go to Santa Clara.
Atlanta is going to beat your asses.
Atlanta's going to be a tough match, but I think we have because
you ain't beating Philadelphia and you're not beating Houston.
No, neither one of those.
I'm just saying that now. You ain't beating Philadelphia and you ain't beating Houston.
Unless a sheer stroke of luck happens, we'll lose.
Unless a miracle happens,
we'll
and
lose.
CJ Stroud is not playing.
Well, I'm not even counting that. I think we might get lucky against the Eagles because we have gotten lucky against the Eagles the past couple of years. We ain't winning against the Texans. CJ Stroud is just that dude.
Then you go to Washington to face the Redskins, and you're gonna lose.
That's gonna be a tough match. They always play us tough.
Then you get to beat up the Giants. You get to beat up Burrow and beat up Carolina.
Yep.
And then Faker Mayfield's gonna pull a miracle out of his ass.
I doubt that, but it's a possibility.
Then you go to Philadelphia
and get beat up again.
And then you host the Washington Redskins to close the season.
And we'll probably lose that one too. We usually split with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
You just split with
but
them.
You're not beating Philadelphia this year.
Probably not.
No.
Doubtful. We got lucky last couple times, but I'm not sure if we'll get lucky again.
Mm-hmm.
We got lucky last time.
Look at week 6. Week 6, you see Detroit. Then week 7. Week 6, you see Detroit, and you end up with an. Week 7's a bye, and it's still an.
Well, we'll find a way.
And then there's week 8.
And we'll find a way. We'll find a way. If there's a way to lose the bye week, we'll probably find a way to do it.
You and a few other teams.
Yes.
All right. We're running over. We're going to get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you all are too. The final show of the 10th season is tomorrow. So long, everybody. What will season 11 bring? Find out September 2nd. See you later.